Hey guys. Uh okay. All right. Hey guys, welcome to 2025. We're back. Okay. I didn't want to edit, so I decided to just do a live stream instead, and hopefully when you see this, whenever you get to watch it, you'll enjoy it. Okay. I want to talk about, let's just do a little bit of like TikTok ban stuff. That whole banning TikTok and then bringing it back, not cool. Just a hot mess, okay? But I guess TikTok is back, or it's extended, or they're still banning it. I don't know. We'll see when it all gets done. I just didn't expect them to ban the other apps, CapCut, Lemonade, like the other apps. I was hoping they would just let those live, but I guess they're going as well. And even though TikTok is back, those apps are not back. So I'm just so unhappy about that. Okay, what I really want to talk about is, have you guys watched Young, Famous, and African? Guys, first of all, I have been watching that show I've been watching that show every single season. The most recent season just came out. I love it. Babe! Guess what? It's a live stream with your antiques. It's a live stream, babe. Bye. I was like, oh my god, did my window just open by itself? My door just opened by itself. Anyway, I watched Young, Famous, and African literally within a day. Like I binge watched it all of yesterday, and I have a few things to say. I have a few things to get off my chest. Not off my chest, but like things to say. First things first. Okay, obviously, this literally opened the season. Zari's wedding was beautiful. Guys, Zari knows how to make an entrance. Zari knows how to dress herself. Zari knows how to dress her body. She looked amazing. That was a beautiful wedding. It was very small, very garden. And like, I do want to say, garden weddings are very common in the southern parts of the world. Like, it's literally such a common thing because the weather is so warm and sunny, and as long as it's not raining, your garden wedding would be a hit. Garden events are just so common. They allow you to accommodate a lot more people, and people like to be outside and just have like that cool breeze feeling. So definitely loved her garden wedding. It was beautiful. Seeing a little bit of her kids and a little bit of her family was really, really nice. I was shocked when I saw Zodwa. I was like, oh my god. Like, I had seen a little snippet from social media where Zodwa was doing a tour of her house, and she's like, this is the room that's what Zari sleeps in when she's in town, type of thing. And I was like, oh, okay, y'all really cool like that. When I saw her on Young, Famous, and African, I'm like, okay, y'all really cool like that. So it was nice to see her there officiating the wedding. And then I don't know what Louis was saying, who he came there with, and blah, blah. Like, it just, that guy is I don't know. I don't want to. Every time I see him, I'm just like, he's so Ken. Did you guys watch the Barbie movie? He's so Ken, like a little bit airhead, just a pretty face. That's all you get from Louis. Sometimes, that's how I feel. Sometimes, okay. And then Annie during the wedding. What was that? What's wrong with Annie? Like, every year I root for Annie, and I think it's because in the first season I realized that this girl, she needs like, I don't know, I felt like this someone who's in a toxic marriage, who's looking for their way back into business and industry and out. Because I feel like that's why people do reality TV shows on the Real Housewives, the common theme. People join the Real Housewives and then they get a divorce. Like, people are just trying to find a way to make a little bit of money and then they're out. And I feel like that's the situation with Annie. It's like, I felt like this was her Hail Mary being on this show, but she's always acted like she doesn't want to be there. Girl, you're one of the OGs, so you definitely want to be there, right? You knew what this was about. Is it because it's never going the way you want? Is it because you're never coming out as the head honcho? Is it because you overestimate your value? I don't even know why you would overestimate your value, Miss Mamas. You haven't made a film in years. You're known as Mrs. That. That's all you got. You're somebody's wife, which ain't nothing wrong with that, but then you can't carry somebody else's currency around unless you're literally holding cash. You're literally holding cash, and it never gives that. It always gives Swanky's doing an amazing job. He's making something out of nothing. I think her best look was always that short hair look, but I understand why it's not a good look for her, because it does give a little bit tomboy, and I know she's trying to come across as very feminine on the show. I don't even know what to say about her. But the hating attitude and the bitterness that you were giving at Zari's wedding was so lame. And then the whole low-key, oh, this looks just like my place where I got married. You're having a wedding just like mine. Like, your anniversary, after how many years, after being through what and what, where your husband looked like he was being forced to be there. Girl, bye. I've always wanted to root for her. I can't. Every single season she disappoints. She does the most. She comes across as very emotionally dysregulated. Like, she needs to either take herself out of the toxic situation or go to therapy and figure out how to really bear it. Because what she does is not bearing it. She's lashing out at everybody, and nobody ever did nothing to her. And then her trying to come for Nadia in the middle of the wedding. Love that for the show. Loved that little move for the show. I felt like somebody has to start a little bit of drama for the show, but then you're gonna get it right back, right? The etiquette, you lose the etiquette in the moment, you're gonna get it right back next time. Only reasonable. Okay, Nadia throughout the season, she's actually a fave for me this season. This is so different because almost every single season, Zari is like top. She's actually my fave this season. Obviously, knowing the background with AKA, like what happened to him and what she was going through. Man, she was so graceful. So graceful. The one moment she lost it, I felt like she was looking at her situation and Annie's situation and comparing and saying, people are giving her so much grace, but I'm going through something much worse and I'm keeping it together. Why can't she do the same? Now, first of all, I do have to say Nadia seems like she's got a lot of people who love her around her, and I don't think it's the same for Miss Annie. Okay, even like when Fontana went to see her, and then when Kanye came through, guys, that was the sweetest thing. I was so happy to see Kanye because I missed her on the show, because when Kanye does that, like she's about to read you, she's about to be dramatic, like, and she looks into the camera, those shots are always like, well, like they're perfect shots, you know, perfect dramatic shots. But I loved seeing her come through. I loved seeing her just show up for her friend. And you know, that grief, when someone's lost somebody for a while and the first time they see somebody, they grieve like that, like they cry like that, it means the grief is still so fresh, so close. Because yeah, you could tell the grief was so fresh and so close. So seeing Fontana be there for her too was real cute, real cute. Loved it. And then on the last part, like the part that, this is the only part where I want to say, Fontana girl. When Nadia was going in on Annie and Fontana was like, and like chiming in and adding things and making it worse. Miss Girl made my day. I just thought Fontana's so petty. I loved it. I do think like the first season, I didn't really give Fontana a chance. I don't, even the second one, I didn't really give Fontana a chance. I don't really know who she is. I don't really know what she does, but like, it's like whatever. And then I do want to say one other thing about Miss Annie. And I don't even want to say just Annie, even Inni did this. So Nigerian girlies, come on. Y'all are a little bit like, oh, maybe they're going through a tough time, but you guys lack compassion when you say that. Those are digs. I don't know how to explain it, but like, you're like, I know she's going through a tough time, referencing Nadia. Like when Annie said, I know Nadia is going through a tough time, so I'm just gonna let it go and give her grace because she's hurting and stuff like that. I was like, you said that with your mouth, but the way you said it made me feel like you're saying she's crazy because she's going through a hard time. Like the compassion didn't come through. I just felt like that was so mean. And I felt like Inni kind of did it too. Same thing. Like, why would you say someone's going through a rough time, but not really try to extend them the compassion that comes with going through a rough time? Like, That was so fake. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. I'm like, don't be that person. Don't be like that. For the two people who are in here, I don't know who you are. Hey guys, please like the video. You don't have to comment, just like it. And then, so yeah, I didn't like that. I don't like that little condescending, I'm so compassionate thing, but you're not really. Did not like that at all. Swanky. Swanky hosted the second best event. Even though his event was the finale, it was the second best event. Felt a little bit weird, honestly, doing all that. Like, whatever. Not gonna comment on that. Not gonna get too off on a tangent on that. But like, that was a beautiful event, well held. He styled the girls, got them dressed up in like beautiful gowns. It was lovely. I liked it. I liked it very much. I feel like when Swanky said I was in therapy dealing with a narcissistic friendship, when I tell you I cackled, like laughed so hard, I'm like, really, Swanky? But I also knew like they were gonna end up reconciling, because no one's really trying. I've always felt like every single season, I've always felt like this is gonna be Annie's last season, but Annie's not going anywhere, and everybody's giving her space to be able to make a little bit of this money. That's the truth. She's the only one who comes across it. Not her, she's not the only one, but she's one of the people who comes across like they need this money, and they need this money, and they need a little bit of this fame that they're getting from this show. Okay, so yeah, shout out to Swanky. Swanky's a styling king, for real, for real, for real. Like the way that he calms down and shows up for this show every single year, shout out to him, because he's bigger than this, he's busier than this. Like, he's just, and I love that other thing. One other thing I like about Swanky is I feel like he's so versatile with the group. When he's with the guys, he's with the guys. When he's with the girls, he's with the girls. But I do have to laugh when they were doing, when they went out for the sporting thing and Swanky came out in denim. I was like, oh my God, do you guys remember last time when Swanky came out in like full, regular, like almost formal attire for an event? So when I saw him like dressed in like training gear and stuff like that, I'm like, cool, like so much better. because Swanky be doing the most. Okay, when it comes to fashions, he be doing the most. And I loved when he was wearing his little silver heels, like silver boots, and like dancing with them with the pink outfit. I love that. I love the whole look. I love Swanky. I love him very much. Like, he's just a likable character. And of course, the dramatic war kids, I'll never get tired of those. Louise. Mr. Louise. Guys, anybody who knows what cult Louise comes from, you know, what is it? Jehovah's Witness? If I say the name of your church, please don't get offended, okay? Is it Jehovah's Witness? Is it Seventh-day Adventist? Is it some other thing? Is it the Catholics? I don't know which one it is, where he comes from, where they would excommunicate someone for, you know, shenanigans on Big Brother. But like, I'm like, okay, like the parents. And Shakib, okay, I really didn't want to talk about him so early, but Shakib is one of my favorite people because his reaction to that information was perfect. He's like, like, honestly, sometimes I'm just like, what kind of African person would disown their kid over a religion? Really? Like, where have you heard of that? Like, that is so wild to me. I'm like, fam, these religions ain't even ours like that, okay? But other people, I guess it's theirs like that. But, okay. So, Louis' story with the family just obviously breaks my heart. And honestly, the way Inni reacted to him, girl, you overreacted. Like, I got it, she triggered him, but, I mean, he triggered her, but like, that was totally like wild. And I loved seeing Luis just be like, this is that year. You give me something, you're gonna get something right back. Like, I loved his attitude about that. I was like, right attitude this year. Like, this is gonna make for good TV. And then secondly, I also like the fact that it made him seem not so dumb. Because I was really beginning to feel like, this guy's, you know, like I said, a kid, an airhead, like not little, not all the way like dumb, just a little bit dumb. Never quick with the comebacks, never quick with the reads, never quick with the reactions, never stands on anything, always willing to apologize, always willing to get along. And then also, you're like, when you see someone who's relatively good looking like him and he just has no, he's not smooth with the girls at all, not. But once he explained that religious background a little bit, I was like, okay, that might be it. You know, like, because he's so not smooth. He always says and does weird things. I remember him asking Zari for the surrogacy thing, and then the way that he tried to talk to Fontana, and even the way that he tried to talk to Kefil, where I'm like, again, you're missing that, like, it's not giving. Like, everything that you do, it never gives. But I'm feeling like maybe it's his religious background that just stunted that swagger and that flow in him. Because I'm like, what's the use of being this model, this fashion guy, this money guy, this good looking guy, and like you can't even talk to a girl? Anyway, I surrender. But I loved his comebacks this year. I loved when he went in on Fontana. I loved when he went in on Ini and like pushed back. And I loved when he was like, listen, these girls are coming now. Like, if you're not happy, you gotta go. And yeah, that was that. I loved him this season. Keep it up. And when he said, oh, this group is changing me, blah, 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 please don't go. Please don't go. Please come back for another season. Like, don't leave. We love you. And then Fontana. Fontana's my girl. Fontana is just city girls. Okay, Fontana's like, whole thing is nothing. There's nothing. I have taken the effort to go to her Facebook page, to her Instagram page after the show. I'm like, girl, what are you really doing with your life? It's giving I'm an Instagram baddie. You know, that's all it gives. I know she supposedly makes music, but it's giving I'm an Instagram baddie. And we all know the relationship with her and Diamond is just not, it's not real. And I'm like, girl, how are you gonna be an artist from Ghana? America and Ghana. I don't know what's the other country that she's, either America or, I guess it's America because it's not the UK. She doesn't have a British accent. How are you going to be an artist from America/Ghana? We don't know your music. You're cool with DJ Naked. We don't know your music from him. And you're cool with Diamond and he's never put you on. Not even like, come through, be a video vixen or something. You know what I mean? I'm like, girl, you're going nowhere. But you're a fly babe, you're a good looking babe, you're fun. She's a very good piece of the cast. And obviously seeing her be friends with Nadia was very like, girl, you're in my books, you're good, you're good. When she took back the things that Annie said, stretch, back. I enjoyed it. I'm like, yes, girl. And honestly, I also felt like, Annie, come on. Like, why would you just go so in on, honestly, the age gap, not the age gap, but the life place gap between Annie and Fontana? It didn't make sense for her to be like, oh, you know, all the things, no. Like, that was too much pouring out your heart to like a baby. She's 26 trying to live it up. Like, she don't care about nothing. And you just gave her more than she could, like, honestly handle. Like, it didn't make sense. And you also didn't seem like you wanted to get to know her. And then after you did all that and she took the information back, the way you treated her at your party or the naked party, that little girl, that, stop doing that. Stop doing that. That's so ageist. Annie, honestly, I didn't want to talk about it. And then when Fontana and Louis went back and forth and it was just pow, 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 that was a good fight. That was the best fight. And then when Fontana came through at the date, for me, what broke my heart is seeing those roses just get trashed onto the floor. And when I looked at the quality of roses that were being handed to Kefilwe, yeah, from Diamond, versus the ones that were given to Fontana in the beginning of the season, I'm like, what? Anyway, whatever. And then the whole pregnancy scare thing, I knew it was going to be a dud. It wasn't real. Knew it wasn't gonna be nothing. Loved Nadia's reaction to the pregnancy square. She's a girl's girl. She's got a girl's back. That's the kind of friends you need. People who check people and everything. But her and Diamond, all right. What can we say? And then Diamond. Guys, I have no comment when it comes to Diamond. Like, the shenanigans of that man. are just crazy. He's a menace. The things he says in his interviews. The things he says in his interviews take me out. There are so many moments that were so funny, but one of the funniest ones was the outfit is about the confidence. If you don't wear confidence with the outfit, I think I've got great legs. I don't know why out of everything he said, him thinking he's got great legs was the silliest one. Okay, Mr. Great Legs, you know. And what's so funny is I love that man's music. He's just a menace. One other thing is the way Zari handled the situation of when she's feuding with him, she cuts him off of the kids. Zari, that's wrong. Like, sure, I was so disappointed when she said it, did it, stood on it. I appreciate her for standing on it and saying, listen, I run things. I give you access to the kids. What do you really got, you know, for these kids? But I'm like, I get it. He doesn't make as much money as you. So he's not like, in your life, he's not the Don. You know what I mean? You're bringing in the money. You're taking care of the kids full time. Because of his career, obviously, he's an artist. He travels around. You do most of the groundwork. And he takes care of the kids in a very limited financial capacity, right? Does school fees. He doesn't do a whole lot of other things. Because, Miss Mamas, you're rich. Hey, even some of the, like a top artist, especially like Diamond, who's got kids all over and does all these things, he can't keep up with your money the way it's stacked. But you can't put it on the kids. And when he asked the kids, you guys don't call me and blah, blah, blah. And the kids were like, I tried to call daddy and you said no. Guys, I was heartbroken. I was like, Zari, that's wrong. But I'm glad that they're fixing it. And I loved the way Diamond and Shakib's conversations went in general. Man, I like that guy. I don't want to lie. Shakib, I like him. I felt like I was so glad that it never came to blows. It was such a brotherly friendship, which, hey, these guys, are they living in Africa? Are they living in 2025? They feel like they're in 2040. Like, they're so mature. The way they were just handling everything. I've always felt like Zari and Diamond have always treated this show like a business enterprise. And they've always moved like family. So it was just a little bit rough seeing their, even them feuding on the internet. And I'm so glad. One of the things I love this season is that everything that trended online, they addressed it. Because I was so like, we're really not going to talk about Zuchu. We're not going to talk about the fact that, for me, and I wanted to ask you guys, like, the timeline of events that they were presenting online didn't seem the same as the timeline of events the way it happened in real life. Like, I thought Zari got married first, yeah? Then there was a video of Diamond and Zari holding hands walking down like some corridor, you know, giving Baba whatever, Baba 2 and Mama 2, whatever they call each other. And I was like, you know, Shakib is strong, Zuchu is strong. So I didn't feel like they addressed the timeline of events. I do like Zari when she's with Shakib. So Diamond, you're just a mess. Go do your thing. Your open relationship mess. I felt like him plotting for Fantana's downfall by being happy that she was pregnant or expecting. Guys, men can be your biggest haters. Be very careful out there. Fantana, I'm happy you made it out without that baby. Because you know, and I was even like, how are they going to address abortion on this show? Because ain't no way a baddie is going to be pregnant and carry a baby. And you know, abortion's legal in South Africa, so it's like a different, you know, it's a different place. But yeah, with the Ghanaian parents and everything and other yeah. Okay, DJ Naked and Kaylee. I love DJ Naked this season. I actually enjoyed his role. I thought he was bringing people together. I just felt like very just generally a good, like, he was not a menace this season. He was chill, was easygoing. I loved seeing Kanye and DJ Naked back together having a conversation. I didn't think that thing needed Kanye to say anything. It looks some type of way when there's a woman advising your man to like if it was another man saying, my guy, it's time. it's okay. But anyway, Kanye is one of them boys, so I guess it's okay. But like I just love seeing Kanye on screen, so I feel like I gave it a pass. But in real life, my man had to go speak to some other woman who's not, I guess, their sister, but who's not his real sister, to be like, yeah, go ahead and move on. And I don't even want the ring after that. And I've always like felt like, I think everybody's always felt like, listen, this man loves that girl and he wants to be with her. I don't know why he fronts like, hey, I can, all that fronting that he'll be doing. It's unnecessary. And Miss Kaylee, girl, get up. Get up. I don't know why it's so hard to see two people who are perfectly in love, yeah? Because I'm like, girl, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. He got you weak in the knees. She loves that man, Shem. She loves that man. And the way she, hey, it's hard to see, but it's good. It's good. She loves him. End of story. Kefilwe. My sister gave us nothing. 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 Nothing, nothing, nothing. And this is the part where I want to stand by Zari. Zari is a little bit messy. But Zari is a little bit messy because she realized that if she doesn't bring up people's tea, people will never bring up their own tea. Like, people are not trying to be in the mix with the mess. But you have to give us something. And we got nothing from you. How can you have two very dramatic scenes and give us still nothing? I don't have her personal story. It had to be pulled out of her by Zari. She didn't want to give us anything. We don't know who her man is. We don't know how rich he is. We don't know that, even when she was having a hard time with the separation and she was crying, we don't know what she was crying about. Then, went off to do a job, travel influencer, comes back, decides to hate on Zari. Good move for being on the show. Trying to throw the drink and all that other drama at the dinner. It didn't land. It didn't land. The drama didn't land because she wasn't continuously present. Her wanting to be, again, it was so disjointed. Her being cool with Annie was not a bad move. That was gonna work. But both of them packed up and left. She went to her job thing. Annie went back to Lagos. Come on. And guys, I've got a question. When the girls are calling their man saying, I want to come home. Let me come home. What's that about? Why can't you just go home? Why do you need your man's approval to just pack up your bags and go? I don't understand it, girl. Why didn't you just get up on the flight and go back home? Huh? You wanted him to send the plane, buy the ticket. What will be going on when you need, Anyway. And then we come to my favorite character in the whole season. Perfect addition. Perfect addition. Shakib is the one. First of all, I love the fact that he brought that stuff up. Ooh, child. I love the fact that he brought it up to say, what is going on between you and Diamond? I really didn't think he would press it or even sweat it, but I felt like that was valid. The fact that he brought it up with her, he brought it up with Diamond, valid, so manly of him. For someone who's that young, I'm like, yes, chill with the big boys, do it. And then seeing him check her like that, I'm like, you're checking the boss lady. You must be the boss man. And seeing Zari be so sweet, be so apologetic. Moving like city girls be up, but I really felt like Zari was lying. But I felt like she also wanted it to be behind her. And then I felt like the way Zari explained the situation with the girls is not the same love and attention that she was dealing with him with, with Shakib. So it was nice to see him. And I loved when Shakib was like, the way you just hugged my wife. To Lewis. It was like, that was too long. That was too much. She's married now. It's funny to me that we do that as human beings, go from not married to married, so change the way you do things. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, he's right, I think those things should be communicated a little bit before, but yeah, that was too, the hug wasn't too, for me, the hug wasn't too full body on. That wasn't the issue, because I think a strong hug or a good hug is very family, but I felt like it was too long. That was too long of a hug. Get up off my Go. Okay, that's final. Um, that's for people who've been friends for decades and decades and decades. People who are gonna be there at your funeral. That's those hugs are for people like that. People who are gonna be there at your funeral and people you haven't seen in a long time. Okay. So his attitude, 100% right, called it out right there and then, checked his friend right there and there. And then also came through for that same friend, literally for that process. I loved everything, seeing them working out together, him and Luis, them doing that whole thing. It was so nice. I definitely think Luis's intent was for that to be like light, fun, airy. It wasn't supposed to be stern and serious, Ini took it the wrong way. she's the she's the one I haven't discussed. Ini took it the wrong way, whatever. And then Shakib's jokes. When Shakib was like, is it like this guy doesn't know how to talk to girls? When I told you, I was like, screw! And I was like, is it that he doesn't know how to talk to girls? Is that what that is? That's what that is. That is what it is. He doesn't know how to talk to girls. He's like, are you scared of girls? I'm like, he is, isn't he? And then when he finally talked that girl whilst he was right there, I'm like, points made and point proven. He's scared to talk to girls. He needs a chaperone. It's because of wherever religious restrictions he comes from. That's what's making him not be able to like be himself. No, I get it. I believe it, and I stand with what Shakib was onto. But Shakib's sense of humor was amazing. He's a good man. He's a good man. He's rocking with Zari. We're rocking with him, and I liked his personality. He's very chill, very calm, and very funny. He's got a good sense of humor. I loved it. I think he's gonna be one of the most relatable people to a lot of people. Like, besides him being young, besides him marrying someone who's older and richer, everything else is African, stereotypical African guy. Like, ain't nothing else. Miss Ini Edo, like Nollywood royalty, like we all know who she is. She's a big deal. She's somebody out there, like really somebody, even till today. And she came through, she came in, everything came correct. Fashions was correct, vibe was correct, everything was correct. The overreacting about, I'm gonna give her a pass because she needed to have a dramatic scene, otherwise she would have had nothing. Okay. Did I mention that Luis hosted the best event? I said Swanky was number 2 from last. Number 1 was Luis. I would have gone for that safari ride. That was beautiful. The space, the venue, the food, and the ride itself were lovely. But I want to say, Miss Ini, if you hadn't gone off on him, you would have given us nothing. It was weird. It was weird to see her go off on Luis, because that's the actress, that's the character, that's the, how can you, I know that it's her, but like, to me, that's how she acts as an actress. That's not who she really is. So seeing her, it felt like I was seeing her act as herself. And I don't know how many times she was asked about the surrogacy process, but like, when you're filming a reality TV show, sometimes you have to give the producers the same piece of information over and over and over and over again, and they're gonna see where in the storyline they're gonna make it fit. And honestly, her story is a big deal. I watched her when she was on Toke Makinwa's podcast. I watched her talk about the story, and like, I am so curious still. I still have questions. Like, I really wanted maybe more intimate questions to be asked and more intimate answers to be given. Maybe she's gonna write a book, or she wrote a book or something. But like, and I know the way the blogs from back home react to things. They pick up things and they spice things up, and it's hot over there. But besides that, like, us, the general international audience, like, we really are curious about the journey and want to know a little bit more about her. And she doesn't give us anything, she did give us, like, she tried, she was married, she tried in everything. I think, this is my assumption, I think that her marriage fell apart because of the issues, and she felt like she was being seen as just like, you know, a baby maker, and that's why she reacted so extremely when it came to Luis. But I felt like that detail wasn't given. I think there were certain things that they wanted to keep out. The proposal at the end, because we're at the end, guys. We're done. If there's anything I didn't discuss, it is what it is. The proposal at the end was beautiful. Those guys, they deserve. But is it just a hush your mouth, we don't want to hear it ring? Or is it like real, like, let's get married? Hey, it's difficult to also be on your third marriage, guys. Third! But I admire people whoever I don't give up on love attitude. I admire people who fall down, get back up, and do it again. I admire them because sometimes it's not your fault. You know, sometimes things don't work out, sometimes it's not your fault. Sometimes it's your fault. And things don't work out and you want to do it again. So I love that. I want to say one other thing. Guys, homes in South Africa are beautiful. Sure. Those places were lovely. You know, Annie's place, that's obviously not like a full-time place, was beautiful. Innie's place was beautiful. Everybody's spot was nice. I was like, damn, this is how people are living. It's nice. The homes are nice. The vibes are nice. The venues, everything, beautiful. When I watched that show, besides all the cringing of all the weird things we do and say and all that stuff, the cinematics are beautiful. Like, Joburg looks so beautiful when you're watching it on that show. It looks beautiful. I'm guessing a lot of it is shot in like very nice places, Sandton and all that stuff. It's beautiful. I love it. I love the show. I can't believe we have to wait a whole nother year before the next season, or maybe 2 years. Netflix, we're ready for another season, and hopefully, you know, it keeps going. And shout out to Swanky for introducing the other girls from back home into this market. I'm seeing some exchange happening, and I love it. Annie and Swanky's reconciliation, boo, tomatoes. I hope it doesn't become anything. Nadia for standing on business. Yep, shout out to you, girl. And I'm wishing her so much healing moving forward. Okay, I've been here for 37 minutes. Yeah, I've broken my own record. I've never done a live on this channel before. And hey, if you watch this video after the live, don't forget to give it a like and your comments. I want to hear what you think. First video of 2025. We're gonna do a proper video. I just didn't feel like editing what I have. Okay, I promise a video is coming. And to the person who's chilling with me here on live, shout out to you. I don't know if it's been 3 different people or just one person logging off and out, but thank you for hanging out with me. Okay, see you on the next video or live.